Hello, how are you? Welcome to stream. Wow, what a day. What a week. Sorry about yesterday. Yesterday I was not around due to a poor excuse. Essentially I was just like not feeling it. I was just not there. I was like, I can't stream today. So I did not. My apologies. I'm sorry about that. But I am here today, and I'm very excited to be here today, which is good. I went to the park today. It was really great. I saw some cherry blossoms. I did a lot of good stuff. I'm taking lots of pictures. I'll be sure to here. Let me see if I can show these pictures because I have a whole bunch. But I don't know if I can put them up here. Let's see. Because I think they look pretty nice. Yeah, that one's a good one. Here, I'll download that one. Do that. And show you what I've been doing. Okay. Let's see if it'll let me show you. Also, sorry, I am my caps lock is on. It's very intense typing all of these things out. Okay. This is what I saw today. Here, I'll make it a little bit smaller. It's really pretty. I'm pretty excited about it. It looks really nice. Right here. I'll come over here. And you can view it. It looks nice. I really liked it. So essentially what I did today is I went to the park, and this was part of the park. This isn't the lakeside of where I was, but I thought it was very, very pretty, and it had lots of stuff going on. I don't know. I thought it was nice. But that's okay if you're not a fan. That's okay. But yeah, that's what I did today. So that was nice. And yeah, I've been pretty much just seeing cherry blossoms all week is what I've been doing other than working. So yeah. Today we are going to read Hamlet. I'm pretty excited. No, I'm in the same place. I put my ring light finally. I put it behind my desk. I'm still in my chair, but it's just the lighting is different. It's nice. I don't know. Here, let's see what lighting I can do. I know I have like a couple of different options. I have this one. Oh, that's not it. What? Why isn't it cycling like it's supposed to? How strange. Oh, well, it's not doing the thing it's supposed to do. So, okay, that's fine. I'll figure it out. I'll edit it in post. It's fine. Whatever. So today... Right, I know. The lighting option... No. There's supposed to be like 4 different tones of light. It's like white light, slightly blue tinted light, yellow light, and then like another shade. It's pretty much all white lights, but they're all different shades of white lighting. And then there's one that's a little bit more orange as well. Oh, thank you. I'm a lurker. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. But yeah, so yeah, on and off. Those are the options for the stream. Unfortunately, off is really a bad option for streaming, so I'm not gonna do that. Um, today, so we blazed through the first 3 scenes of Act 4. Act 4, the scenes in Act 4 are really, really, really short, which is really strange. Because normally they're really, really long, right? So, I don't know what's happening, but it's whatever. Here, hold on. I'm going to grab my water because I want to hydrate throughout the stream, because that's important and healthy and all of that. So, hold up. Okay. I'm back. Wow, that was a really long trip. Sorry, I had to go all the way to Tokyo for that. So took a little bit. Took a long time. Oops. So let's do it. Oh yeah, I also, one of the best things that happened today, I found playing cards. I was so excited. I've been looking for playing cards for a while, and I mean, the thing is, with playing cards, if I buy them online, they want to give me like the plastic ones, but these are paper cards. I'm pretty hyped about them. I want to see the backs of them though before we get started reading. Sorry, these were on my desk, and I forgot that I got them maybe like 2 hours ago. I already broke the box. Stellar. An extreme amount. Oh, there's a box inside the box. That's why. See, I'm not used to that. I'm only used to the idea of like what is it called? Just a paper box. Because traditionally, playing cards come in paper boxes. They don't come in plastic boxes. So I'm gonna unbox this if I can. If I can, I'm gonna unbox these playing cards and just go for it. Okay. Oh, they're just diamondy, or not diamondy, they're plaid on the back. Here, hold on. Let me try and make it not poor quality. Oh yeah, hold it down here. Angle it this way. Then the light doesn't hit it so hard. Woo! Yeah, it's pretty standard looking. What are the face cards looking like? Okay. The queen has a round chin, the jack has a round chin, and the king has a bearded chin. Okay, very common. Oh my gosh. Look. Look. It's, oh man. I was about to make a reference. Hold up. Pretend I didn't say anything. Look. It's Claudius and Gertrude. And ignore the J. And Hamlet. It's really not that funny. But I think it's a little bit funny. I don't know. And then the ace of spades has like a, what is it? I don't know. It's got a Joker hat on top of it, which is strange. And then we've got the black and white Joker and the rainbow Joker. I have honestly always liked the black and white Joker more. But I don't know. 100% all plastic. It doesn't feel plasticky though. It feels pretty paperish. So they're very malleable. They're not like the thick plastic cards. So I think those will be fun. I like to play solitaire. I also like to play a game called King's Corner. It's like if solitaire could be for many players. It's my favorite, one of my favorite games to play when it comes to card games. I like playing card games. I am a granny like that. So yeah, I'll play that. I'll play Slapjack. I'll play War, though I don't like War very much. It's very stale most of the time. King's Corner is my favorite because I like playing solitaire. I don't know how to play bridge. I don't know how to play bridge, and I don't know how to play euchre either. Those are the two games that I know people get really into. Oh, and rummy. I don't know how to play rummy or gin rummy or whatever it is. I know people who know how to play it, but no, I remember I went on a date with someone, and they were like, oh, I love playing rummy. And I said, oh, let's play rummy sometime. And then we never went on a date again. And it was the worst thing. Dude, of course I know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! You can't play with a standard deck, though. Hell yeah, I know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! It's time to duel. And then my hair just like spikes up whenever I start playing too. It's really nuts. Right? It's in the heart of the cards. But anyway, like that's my chest prism moving around. Oh, it's super cool. I'm so good at it. My friends call me Yugi. No, I'm kidding. They don't. I do not have a friend named Joey who calls me Yugi. Can you imagine though? Can you imagine if I was Yugi? I can imagine. Streamer name confirmed. Yugi. Yes, I am Yugi for sure. Okay. So, let's get started. Should we get started? I think it's time to get started. I think it's time. Thanks. Thanks, One True Villain. I agree. I think Yugi is a very cool name. And I think I would kill it as Yugi. For sure. Okay. So let me fill you in on what happened last time. So the little play went on, right? And Hamlet's mom was like, bro, that was not cool. You really shouldn't have done that. And, you know, it made your uncle father really upset. And Hamlet's like, I don't really care if it did. I'm feeling betrayed lately, blah, blah, blah. And they're having this heart to heart, right? Where Hamlet's just like, look, you betrayed me, you betrayed my father. This man, Uncle Claudius, is not my father. Stop trying to act like he is, even though you married him. He's not ever gonna be my father. And then and then the queen is like, oh, that's really terrible. And Hamlet starts saying some of these things that seem a little bit crazy to her. And all the meanwhile, Polonius is hiding behind a curtain in her room. And he's like, oh, help. And Hamlet just immediately is like, oh, there's a spy, and then stabs Polonius behind the curtain. And then Polonius just like flops over and dies. Lit. And then the queen's like, oh my gosh, what have you done? And Hamlet's like, it's whatever. It's just murder, man. Like, it's not a big deal. He's not who I'm trying to murder anyway. Like, it's too bad it's not the king. I wish it was the king instead, because then I could just stop murdering people. And then he carries Polonius's body out of the queen's room. And the thing that's interesting about this too, so this scene, Hamlet's dad comes in, the ghost of Hamlet's father, and the queen does not see the ghost. Only Hamlet sees the ghost. So it's interesting to me because I know at the beginning of the play, his friends saw the ghost and therefore introduced it to Hamlet. But the fact that the queen couldn't see him, I don't know if that's a sense of betrayal or if the ghost was intentionally not being seen, whatever. Okay, so then the queen rats out Hamlet to the king. And it's just like, Hamlet killed Polonius, man. And the king's just like, shit, okay, well, he has to go to England. Sorry, the end, period. He's leaving. And then Rosencrantz and Guildenstern find Hamlet, and they're just like, yo, bro, what the hell happened? Not cool that you stabbed somebody. Stab, don't do that, okay? And so, okay, I'm trying to remember what happened. So, okay, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are essentially just trying to get Hamlet to go with them, to go meet with the king and the queen. And then Hamlet and the king are in the room together. And, oh, okay. And the king is like, where's Polonius's body? And Hamlet says, oh, you want the body? Why? I don't know why you would want that, man. Like, his body's in the ground now. I disposed of it. You're welcome. I did all of the hard work for you. And the king's like, no. We want to have a proper ceremony. We want to give his children the benefit, blah, blah, blah. Something nice. And Hamlet's like, I know, but I already buried it. And I'm not going to tell you where it is because I already did the job. So I'm upset that you don't appreciate the work that I've done. And I would appreciate it if you appreciated what I did. And I'm not going to tell you where the body is because you would eventually be able to find it anyway. But probably by the time you find it, it's going to be a skeleton. Okay? So, too bad, so sad, get over it. Okay, bye. So, that's what Hamlet did. Hamlet buried Polonius and didn't tell anybody where it was. And so now we're in scene 4, because I can read Roman numerals. And it's in a plane in Denmark. Classic Hamlet. I know. He's so angsty. And he doesn't like how people just don't appreciate him. And he thinks that he's always underappreciated, which is just like, really, Hamlet? Okay. So, enter Fortinbras, a captain and soldiers marching. Who is Fortinbras? I don't remember. Fortinbras is the Prince of Norway. He isn't a middle child. I know, well, he's an only child. Like, let's be honest. Because, I mean, for middle children, from what I understand, as an extremely middle child who is also kind of an only child, it's complicated. It wouldn't surprise me since he is an only child because of the way he acts and like how spoiled he is and whatever, middle children just kind of get swept under the rug, right? Because the oldest child is the responsibility of the parents, and the parents are just like, this has to be perfect, this has to be our perfect child, and we're trying really hard. By the time it gets to the middle child, they're like, okay, whatever, I don't really care what you do. And then with the youngest child, they're like, oh, you're our princess, we love you so much, and we were waiting for you, and you are our gift from the gods. Okay. So, yeah. So, punk, the easiest way I can describe this is the fact that I have only half siblings. I don't have any full siblings. So, yeah. That's how I describe it. That's how I'm an extremely middle child, but I'm also an only child. I had this talk with my father today, actually, which was really funny. Because he said, you are a middle child, but you're also an only child. He said, you're basically an only child. And I said, yes, this is extremely true. However, I am still technically also a middle child, depending on which parent you talk to. Okay, so Fortinbras comes in. Older child is special because they're first. Younger child is special because they're youngest, but middle, yeah. Nobody cares about the middle child. It's so sad, and I like, as a middle child, every middle child that I've met is super cool. Usually, they're just like, yeah, whatever, man, I don't really have an opinion. They're very go with the flow most of the time. Hello, Inez. Nice to see you. So, okay. We have Fortinbras, who is the Prince of Norway, who's over here. I don't think have we met Fortinbras? I don't think we've met him yet. I think, is he the dude that was just like chilling that we were talking about earlier? That was like taking all of this crap? No, I don't think so. Okay, Fortinbras has had nothing to do with anything yet. And he's in Denmark right now with his captain and soldiers. And Fortinbras says, go, captain, from me, greet the Danish king. Tell him that by his license Fortinbras craves the conveyance of a promised march over his kingdom. You know the rendezvous. If that his majesty would aught with us, we shall express our duty in his eye, and let him know so. And the captain says, I will do it, my lord. Fortinbras says, go softly on. And Fortinbras and his soldiers leave. But the captain stays behind. Dun dun dun! Okay. So, essentially the captain is being sent to greet the king of Denmark in the place of the prince. and he's just like, get a reading on him, see if he wants to, like, if he's cool. See what's going on. What's up? What's his vibe? What is his zodiac sign? Is he an Aquarius? Is he a Cancer? Is he a Scorpio? Ooh, okay. Let's get a read. And then Hamlet and Rosencrantz and Guildenstern and others come in. So I'm guessing that these guys are on their way to the Copenhagen airport. Let's be honest, because they gotta go to England. Just kidding. There weren't airports yet. I just want to clarify so that there's not someone in here who's like, wow, she's so dumb. She thinks Shakespeare had airports. They're on their way to the airport, but not actual airport. And Hamlet says, good sir, whose powers are these? And Captain says, they are of Norway, sir. Hamlet, how purpose, sir, I pray you? Captain, against some part of Poland. Captain. Oh, Hamlet. Who commands them, sir? Captain. The nephew of old Norway, Fortinbras. Hamlet. Goes it against the main of Poland, sir, or for some frontier? Inez, Hamlet did not get his revenge yet. The king is still alive. I'm guessing that's what his revenge is going to be. But he did kill Polonius already. I just want you to know. Currently, Hamlet is getting exiled as we speak with Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. So, I'm glad you like it. I like it so far too. This is my first time reading it actually, so it's very exciting. And the captain says, truly to speak, and with no addition, we go to gain a little patch of ground that hath in it no profit but the name, to pay 5 ducats. 5. I would not farm it, nor will it yield to Norway or the Pole. A ranker rate, should it be sold in fee. And Hamlet says, why, then the Pollock never will defend it. Captain, yes, it is already garrisoned. And Hamlet, 2,000 souls and 20,000 ducats will not debate the question of this straw. This is the impostume of such wealth and peace, that inward breaks, and shows no cause without why the man dies. I humbly thank you, sir. Sorry, I'm thinking about the word I just said, and I was thinking about posthumous, like the idea of being dead, you know? So, I was just thinking about that whenever I was pronouncing this word. I'm sorry, too. I have the sniffles, and it's just dusty outside. My allergies are just awful. Okay. Sorry, I thought about the cherry blossoms are starting to lose their petals on the ground, and I picked up some petals so that I could mail them to my grandfather, because I mail him letters. And I was like, oh God, I left them in my pocket. And then I was like, oh wait, I haven't put my clothes in the laundry washing machine. So it's okay. It's totally fine. We're good. Okay. And Captain said, God be with you, sir. And then he exits. So essentially they're just talking shop. Hamlet's like, why are you here? Rosencrantz is just, or not Rosencrantz. The captain is essentially just like, look, we're here with the nephew of Norway, the Prince of Norway, Fortinbras. We're against Poland, you know, things like that. Don't worry about it. We're just, you know, we got a little patch of ground, little patch of land. It's not going to be beneficial for you. It's not going to be beneficial for me. It's not beneficial for anybody, okay? We're not doing anything. We're not growing anything. It's just what we're doing, okay? Okay. Am I a bookworm? I would say probably. I think to a certain extent. I wouldn't say fully. But I like books. I like reading. I like reading a lot. Okay, so Rosencrantz says, will it please you go, my lord? I always read it awkwardly. Will it please you go, my lord? Hamlet says, I'll be with you straight. Go a little before. And in true Hamlet style, everyone exults except for Hamlet, okay? Everyone exunt except for Hamlet. And Hamlet always has to have the last word. Hamlet always has to have the last monologue. So you better put your seatbelt on and get ready, because Hamlet's about to go on a rampage, a verbal rampage. How all occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge. What is a man, if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast, no more. Sure, he that made us with such large discourse, looking before and after, gave us not that capability and godlike reason to fust in us unused. Now, whether it be bestial oblivion, or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the event, the thought which, quartered, hath but one part wisdom and ever 3 parts coward, I do not know why yet I live to say these things to do, sith I have cause and will and strength and means to do it. Examples gross as earth exhort me, witness this army of such mass in charge, led by a delicate and tender prince, whose spirit with divine ambition puffed makes mouths at the invisible event. Exposing what is mortal and unsure to all that fortune, death, and danger dare, even for an eggshell. Rightly to be great is not to stir without general argument, but greatly to find quarrel in a straw when honour's at the stake. How stand I, then, that have a father killed, a mother slain, excitement of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, while to my shame I see the imminent death of 20,000 men, that for a fantasy and trick of fame go to their graves like beds, fight for a plot whereon the numbers cannot try the cause, which is not tomb enough and continent to hide the slain. Oh, from this time forth my thoughts be bloody, or be nothing worth. And then he exits. I know, he's just like, here, hold up, let me just give you my 2 cents, audience. Okay. So essentially, Hamlet is digesting what just happened. He's just like, I don't understand why these people are here. I don't get it. All of these people died so that these people could get this land. And, you know, I don't understand. There's so much bloodshed that went into this, whatever. And now I have to shed my own blood, and I have to do all of this other stuff just so I can avenge my father, and blah, blah. And I have so much rage, and I'm so upset and angsty. I'm also a teenager, and yeah, okay. You get it. And then he leaves. He's angry, okay? He's like, if this land was really as worthless as you say, why did all these people die? Anyway, okay. So we're in scene 5, and it's in Elsinore. And we're in a room in the castle. So Elsinore, if you remember, that's where the castle is, okay? It's in the castle. A room in the castle, okay? Oh my god. My French accent just, like, sent me into a... I don't even know. Into a frenzy. I know, right? Why can't he... I think... It's kind of like... I think it's a Dexter kind of complex, right? If you think about Dexter wanted to kill all of these people who were, like, causing all of these bad things to happen in society. And he was like, I'm a good person. I'm killing all of these horrible people, right? But he's still killing people. I think it's the same thing with Hamlet. He's like, my uncle killed my father, and therefore, I mean, like, it's kind of the same idea, right? He's avenging someone who was taken advantage of. Okay. So, scene 5, Elsinore. Enter the Queen, Horatio, and a gentleman. Ooh. Okay. I'm interested to see who this gentleman is, because he seems very insignificant if he doesn't have a name. But what's in a name, right? Shakespeare reference. Romeo and Juliet reference. Oh. Okay, the Queen. I will not speak with her. And the gentleman says, she is importunate. Shit. Indeed distract. Her mood will needs be pitied. And the Queen says, what would she have? And the gentleman says, she speaks much of her father, says she hears there's tricks in the world, and hems and beats her heart. spurns enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet the unshaped use of it doth move the hearers of collection. They aim at it, and botch the words up fit to their own thoughts, which, as her winks and nods and gestures yields them, indeed would make one thing there might be thought, though nothing sure, yet much unhappily. And Horatio says, "'Twere good she were spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures and ill-breeding minds." And the queen says, "Let her come in." Okay, so they're talking about Ophelia. I want you to realize this. So Polonius died, right? Ophelia's dad. Also Laertes' dad. Laertes is like at sea though, so I doubt Laertes knows that his dad is dead yet. But Ophelia is like entering kind of this state of madness as well, like Hamlet. And so the queen says aside before Ophelia even comes in, "To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to such great amiss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt, it spills itself in fearing to be spilt." And then the gentleman comes in with Ophelia. Okay? So the queen's like, "I just don't want to see Ophelia right now." And the man's like, "You should see her, because she's like really a mess right now, and she needs somebody. She doesn't have anybody in her life right now." So yeah, Ophelia comes in. "Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?" And the queen says, "How now, brown cow Ophelia?" And Ophelia sings, oh man, I gotta do singing. "How should I your true love know from another one? Snap, snap. By his cockle hat and staff, and his sandal shoon." And the queen says, "Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?" And Ophelia says, "Say you, nay, pray you, Mark." Ophelia's like, "Bro, I'm not done yet. Queen, shut up. I'm not finished." Because she was just like, "Oh, that's so sweet. What a sweet song. Where'd you get that one?" And Ophelia's just like, "Stop." And Ophelia sings, "He is dead and gone, my lady, he is dead and gone. Snap, snap. At his head a grass, green turf, at his heels a stone. Oh, oh!" And then the queen says, "Nay, but Ophelia." And Ophelia says, "Pray you, Mark." She's just like, "Shut the hell up, Ophelia. I'm tired of hearing you interrupt my song. I'm in the middle of a song." This is Ophelia actually like forming her own one-man emo band. She's like, "Hamlet wouldn't play the tambourine, so I have to sing by myself." "White his shroud as the mountain snow." And then the king comes in, and the queen says, "Alas, look here, my lord." And Ophelia is still singing, "Larded with sweet flowers, which be wept to the grave, did go with true love showers." I know, right? She is the prototype Fiona Apple. She's gonna kill it. She's gonna kill it. She's gonna sell so many albums. Ophelia's gonna like, everyone's gonna be like, "Whoa, Ophelia was supposed to marry Hamlet. She like totally slept with Hamlet, even though she definitely didn't." But you know how the tabloids are. Ooh, what can I say? But yeah, so the king says, "How do you, pretty lady?" And Ophelia says, "Well, God'll do. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table." And king says, "Conceit upon her father." Ophelia, "Pray you, let's have no words of this." Ophelia says this. I thought I said queen, sorry. "Pray you, let's have no words of this. But when they ask you what it means, say you this." And then she's going to start singing again. Why is she singing so much? "Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning be time, and I am made at your window be your Valentine. Then he rose and donned his clothes and duped the chamber door, let in the maid that out a maid never departed more. And the king says, pretty Ophelia. And Ophelia says, indeed, without an oath, I'll make an end on it, okay? I get it. Everybody wants me to stop singing, okay? I get it. It would be better with tambourine, but Hamlet's not here, so you know what? Fine, I'll finish my song. And so she's going to finish it and goes, by Giz and by Saint Charity, alack and fie for shame. Young men will do it if they come to it, by cock they are to blame. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. And then he answers, not he like the king, like she says to the side, he's gonna answer whenever we sing this song together, Hamlet and I. So would I have done by yonder sign, and thou hadst not come to my bed. Yay. Finally the song is over. And then the king said, how long hath she been thus? How long hath she been thus? And Ophelia says, I hope all will be well. We must be patient. But I cannot choose but weep to think they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night. And then she exits. So Ophelia is just she's really riled up because she's like, oh, my father died, and like now he's buried in the ground and dead and not in a coffin and not properly, and no one was there except for Hamlet. Can you find his body, please? She's essentially just saying, can you find his body, please? Because I'm going nuts. I'm going absolutely crazy. And the king says, follow her close. Give her good watch, I pray you. And then Horatio exits. So I'm guessing Horatio is going to also be with Ophelia. And says, okay, so the king says, oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude. When sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First, her father slain. Next, your son is gone, and he most violent author of his own just removed, the people muddied, thick and wholesome in their thoughts and whispers, for good Polonius' death, and we have done but greenly in hugger-mugger. What the hell is hugger-mugger? Clandestinely, okay. Can you imagine somebody to be like, hugger-mugger? I can't imagine somebody saying hugger-mugger casually in conversation. Oh, Unky Claudius. In hugger-mugger to enter him, poor Ophelia divided her from herself, and her fair judgment without the which we are pictures or mere beasts. Last, and as much containing as all these, her brother is in secret come from France, feeds on his wonder, keeps himself in clouds, and wants not buzzers to infect his ear with pestilent speeches of his father's death, wherein necessity of matter beggared. Will nothing stick our person to arraign in ear and ear? Oh, my Gertrude, this, like to a murdering peace in many places, gives me superfluous death. And then there's a noise within. There's a noise within something. I don't know. There's a noise, like, outside of the stage. I think the noise within just means, like, an off stage. Somebody's, like, making a ruckus. And the queen says, alack, what noise is this? The king says, where are my Switzers? Let them guard the door. And then another gentleman comes in. The king says, what's the matter? And the gentleman says, save yourself, my lord. The ocean, overpeering of his list, eats not the flats with more impetuous hate than young Laertes. In a riotous head overbears your officers. The rabble call him lord. And, as the world were now but to begin, antiquity forgot, custom not known, the ratifiers and props of every word, they cried, choose we, Laertes shall be king. Caps, hands, and tongues applaud it to the clouds. Laertes shall be king, Laertes king. And the queen says, how cheerfully on the false trail they cry. Oh, this is counter, you false Danish dogs. And the king says, the doors are broke. So, okay. Laertes did hear that his father is dead. Okay. So Laertes is pissed. He's really upset. He's just like, I cannot believe that you, of all people, could not find my father in the ground and give him a proper burial. Why is he dead? He shouldn't be dead right now. He was supposed to be under your protection. I don't understand what's happening. So he's like holding a gun, I'm guessing. Or wait. A sword. He's holding a sword. I'm smart, I promise. Okay, he's holding a sword. Laertes says, "Where is this king? Sirs, stand you all without." And the Danes say, "No, let's come in." And Laertes say, "I pray you, give me leave." The Danes say, we will. And Laertes says, "I thank you. Keep the door." So the door stays on the ground. And the Danes retire without the door. So like everybody just like leaves the castle that came in chasing Laertes essentially. And some people were like, "Oh, Laertes the king. Laertes shall be king. I'm just kidding. Never mind. He's not going to be the king." Anyway, Laertes says, "Oh, thou vile king, give me my father." And the queen says, "Calmly, good Laertes." Laertes says, "That drop of blood that calm proclaims me bastard, cries cuckold to my father, brands the harlot even here, between the chaste unsmirched brows of my true mother." And the king says, "What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude, do not fear our person. There's such divinity doth hedge a king that treason can but peep to what it would acts little of his will. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed. Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man." So the king is just like, "Okay, Laertes. First off, Gertrude, you can let him go. It's fine. Just let him in. It's okay. Whatever. I don't care. You know what? Just let this lunatic into my house. He's already here. Second, do not speak to me like this, but also, why are you acting so crazy? Why do you think you deserve my what?" And Laertes says, "Where is my father?" And the king says, "Dead." And the queen says, "But not by him." And the king says, "Let him demand his fill." Laertes, "How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell, allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace, to the profoundest pit I dare damnation. To this point I stand, that both the worlds I give to negligence, let come what comes. Only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father." And the king says, "Who shall stay you?" And Laertes says, "My will, not all the world, but for my means I'll husband them so well that shall go far with little." The king says, "Good Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death, is it written your revenge that swoopstake? You will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser?" And Laertes says, "None but his enemies." So the king is like, "Well, before I give you the person's name, does it matter if you like them or not? Like, would you kill your friend? Are you really willing to do that? Because it seems very ill-advised. I didn't kill your dad, but like, it seems like a bad idea for you to kill somebody if you don't even know who it is yet." And Laertes is like, "Just tell me." And the king says, "Will you know them then?" Laertes, "To his good friends thus wide I'll open my arms, and like the kind life-rendering pelican repast them with my blood." King, "Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman, that I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment pierce as day does to your eye." And the Danes say within, "Let her come in." It's like the mob in the wings of the theater. And Laertes says, "How now, brown cow? What noise is that?" And Ophelia comes in. And Laertes continues, O heat, dry up my brains, tears 7 times salt, burn out the sense and virtue of mine eye. By heaven thy madness shall be paid with weight till our scale turn the beam. O rose of May, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia, O heavens, is it possible a young maid's wits should be as mortal as an old man's life? Nature is fine in love, and where 'tis fine it sends some precious instance of itself after the thing it loves. And Ophelia sings a little bit of her song. It's a new song. She's like, this one is for my brother upon his return. They bore him barefaced on the bier, and in his grave reigned many a tear. Fare you well, my dove. And Laertes says, hadst thou thy wits, and didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus. Ophelia says, you must sing down a down and call him a down. Call him a downa. Oh, how the wheel comes it. I can't read. Okay, one more time. You must sing down a down, and you call him a downa. Oh, how the wheel becomes it. It is the false steward that stole his master's daughter. So Ophelia's like, it's Hamlet, bro. It's the man who tried to steal my virginity. And Laertes says, this nothing's more than matter. And Ophelia says, there's rosemary, that's for remembrance. Pray you, love, remember. And there's pansies, that's for thoughts. And Laertes says, a document of madness, thoughts. Remembrance fitted. Ophelia, there's fennel for you and columbines. There's ruse for you. And here's some for me. We call it herb of grace. Oh, Sundays. Oh, you must wear your rue with a difference. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say it made a good end. For bonny sweet Robin is all my joy. And Laertes says, thought and affliction, passion, hell itself. She turns to favor and to prettiness. And Ophelia says, and will not come again. Bop, bop. And will not come again. Bop, bop. No, no, he's dead. Go to thy deathbed. He will never come again. His beard is as white as snow, all flaxen with his poll. Bah, bah. He is gone. He is gone. And we cast away, moan God, have mercy on his soul. And of all Christian souls, I pray God, God be with you. Can you imagine, like, like a pop punk concert ending with, I pray God be with you? That would be hilarious. That would be so funny. Anyway, Laertes says, do you see this, O God? And the king says, Laertes, I must commune with your grief. Does he really think that Laertes is talking to him whenever he says, oh God? Really? Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Go but apart. And actually, one more thing, too. Sorry. No, this made me think about something, because I thought it was really cool. These kids would be unbearable to be around. I 100% agree, Punk. 100%. No, so something that was really interesting is I was talking to my grandfather yesterday. I know I'm talking about my grandfather so much on stream today. I was talking to him on the phone last night, and we had a conversation about God and how people refer to God as he a lot. And we just had this really in-depth conversation about religion, especially pertaining to the pronouns of God, as well as the extravagance of cathedrals in Europe. And I thought it was so different from anything we've ever talked about before. And it was a cool conversation. Because my grandfather was like, why do you call God he? And I was like, I don't know, man. It's just what everybody else calls God. My grandfather was like, let's be honest here. You know, I'm a religious person. And I was like, I'm not really, you know. So personally, I'm not a very religious person. But my grandfather is a little bit more religious than I am. he grew up in like a Catholic school and everything like that. He was like, I never really understood why God had to have, I don't understand why we just don't call God God. And I was like, that's a really good point. It makes sense. Yeah, I agree. Well, I was also saying too that with cathedrals and with churches and things like that, I think the more modern the church, usually the less extravagant it is, because even with more modern Catholic churches and things like that, this was my theory, this is what I was thinking. Churches now represent more than ever this idea of wanting to be a community and wanting to wanting to encourage people to join from any background and from anything like that. And so I think churches come off as more humble now than ever because they don't want to discourage people or make people feel that they are less than when coming to a worship service. Also, Constantine, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. So, yeah, that's my theory also. Yeah, no, that also lines up really well. But that's, I don't know. We could talk about this for a long time. I don't want to talk about it too much. I try not to talk about religion or things like that too much. Good, I'm so glad, Constantine. That makes me very happy to hear. But yeah, I think it's really interesting, and I mean, I think it's amazing, all of these cathedrals that were built such a long time ago and that are so beautiful to look at, because I mean, I think part of it, at least before, when religion was much more integrated into society and people were much more reliant on it, I think the idea of like building a shrine for God was more important, and having something that was very beautiful for God was more important. I mean, if you look at for instance, I'm trying to remember, if you look at different books in the Bible, they tell you how to build shrines and things like that, and how to make it to where God would be pleased. Fun fact, God loves purple. Don't know why. There's a lot of purple that goes into it, and gold, but still. But it's really interesting to see like all of this extravagant and intricate design that goes into these instructions that go into these religious texts about how to please this deity, right? Yeah. Well, no, definitely. I would say, yeah, for sure. They were much stricter about it. And I mean, I think people were much more invested in religion, at least in Western culture, than they are now. I don't know how it is all over the world. Obviously, I haven't lived all over the world. I would say in Korea with Christianity, it's not like churches here are in skyscrapers. They're like maybe 1 or 2 floors within one skyscraper. Yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna finish this act I'm gonna finish this scene because we're almost there. I just wanted to make that side note because I think it's interesting, the way that the king responded after Laertes said, "Oh God." I used to have a friend actually that I would say, if I ever said, "Oh my God," my friend would say, "You called?" And I mean, I think it's obviously humorous, but I don't think it was even the context for this, but no, it's just funny. So the king says, Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Go but apart, make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me, if by direct or by collateral hand they find us touch it. We will our kingdom give, our crown, our life, and all that we call ours to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us, and we shall jointly labor with your soul to give it due content. And Laertes says, let this be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, no trophy, sword, nor hatchment over his bones, no noble rite, nor formal ostentation, cry to be heard, as 'twere from heaven to earth, that I must call it in question. The king said, so you shall, and where the offence is, let the great axe fall, I pray you, go with me. And they exhumed! Yes, my eyes are actually blue. I do not use filters. What? Crazy. I know. I look like I'm using so many filters. But yeah, so essentially the king is just like, yeah, go ham, man. Go kill Hamlet. I am behind you. I support this. Let's go together. I want to watch you kill this dude. Let's do it. Kill my son, nephew. I would love to watch that. And that's what happened. That's it. So, yeah. That's it, man. That's where we're gonna stop today. On Sunday, we are going to, yeah, Hamlet's a mess right now. Hamlet honestly is kind of screwed. We're gonna finish Act 4, and then we'll start Act 5, and then we'll probably finish this either Monday or Tuesday. No, we won't finish it Tuesday, because Tuesday I have a birthday party to plan. It's my friend's birthday, and I gotta plan the party. So we're either gonna finish it on Monday or we're gonna finish it on Wednesday, and I promise that's true. And I will stream on Sunday because I'm probably not gonna keep Sunday as a streaming day, just heads up. But oh, sorry, I blinked in my head. I'm probably not going to keep Sunday as a streaming day just because it's going to be my only day off for a while during the summer. So I'm going to want to have that for myself. But I will keep Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday 100%. Because those I can sustain really easily. So, yeah, okay, I will. Thank you for coming. I live in Korea. That is where I live at the moment. Which weird thing that happened today. It was my first time ever seeing an influencer that I've seen their content out in public today. It was the weirdest thing because I don't really use social media. I stopped using it maybe a year and a half ago. But I remember this person because they have very distinct tattoos and a very distinct look. And I saw them in the shop. And so my first instinct was just to duck by the birthday party supplies because I was one aisle away from them. And I was like, I feel really weirded out being near this person. Not because they're a weird person, but just because it was strange. And I thought, I don't know how to feel. So I just hid, and I hope, because they're also somebody who's from the U.S. in Korea, and I feel awkward being around other foreigners sometimes. And so I just hid, and then I waited for them to leave after I listened to them talk about Doritos with their friends in the store. And I was like, oh, they're gone. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's what I did. That's how I react in social situations. When you see somebody that you think is remotely familiar, just hide. Awesome. Okay. On that note, thank you for coming to stream. I hope you enjoyed. If you feel like it, feel free to follow. If not, that's totally fine. I stream pretty regularly, I think. though I'm not the most consistent all the time. But I hope you have a good day, or a good afternoon, or a good night, and I will see you sometime soon. Goodbye.